We are going to the phone lines imminently, but what a game that was. 7 goals in 40 minutes. It was simply sublime. It really was. And the person that we need to talk about, I think, is simply Martin Odegaard. With him in the side, anything is possible for Arsenal. He is their version of Mohamed Salah, their version of Rodri. With him playing well, anything can happen. And I think it's got to the stage now that without him, nothing is possible. That is how important he is. If Martin Odegaard is fit and playing well, Arsenal can dream of the very top honours. But if he isn't fit, if he isn't there, and maybe this brings us to a conversation around the recruitment of Arsenal, do they need somebody who can play that role? Should they have let Fabio Vieira go? Should they have let Emile Smith-Rowe go? Because they are so reliant on Martin Odegaard. But while he is fit, there is no reason to say that they will not win the league. Chris, an Arsenal fan, you are on talkSPORT, sir. How are you?
How you doing, Rory? You all right?
Yeah, I'm very well, Chris. Probably not as well as you. That's simply sensational, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that first half was it was a carbon copy of last season, to be honest.
Yeah, you battered them there last year as well, didn't you? Of course you did.
Yeah, but the thing, what makes this Arsenal team, you said it about 5 seconds ago, Odegaard, he is unbelievable. You know that. He is unreal what he brings to this team. And he helps Saka out with his runs and everything. He's just the conductor in that midfield. He's absolutely unbelievable player.
I completely agree with you. Can I ask you something though, Chris? I'm sorry to focus on the negative here, but you know how important he is to you. When he's injured, if he isn't there, there isn't really the person that can come in, is there? You know, you let Fabio Vieira leave, you let Emile Smith-Rowe leave. Was that an error from Mikel Arteta?
It's hard to say because when Smith-Rowe was at Arsenal, he was always injured. Fabio Vieira, I don't think he's that creative player. And I thought maybe he would have got that out of Marino that we signed. But it is a worry when he's not there. It's because we've seen it. But we've just got to hope and pray that he stays fit for the whole season now because he is that good. He really is.
Yeah, I agree. You know, if he keeps fit now, if Martin Odegaard plays, you know, the vast majority of games between now and the end of the season, what's the dream? What is the dream and what's the reality for Arsenal Football Club?
Well, obviously the dream for me is I want this league title more than anyone. I will do it. I will do so much for this club to win the league. But it's Liverpool at the moment. I was speaking to Cundy and O'Hara earlier, and I just said I can't see anyone stopping them because if they beat Man City tomorrow, which I believe they will, because Man City at the moment, I mean, Jesus Christ, I don't know what they look like. I don't see another team that can stop them. I mean, they got a result at us. They drew with us. So, you know, they'll take a point all day long at Arsenal. And, you know, I just don't think I can see anyone stopping them. They're playing so well at the moment.
I do agree with you, but you know what we have to acknowledge here, and I don't like doing this at all, but since Martin Odegaard has returned, what form you've been in. Like, what a week to go away to Sporting, to go to Lisbon and to batter them in the way that you did. They are one of the form teams in Europe. Then when you marry up domestic form with international form, like, it's very difficult to win your Premier League game when you've had a Champions League away game in the week. And look at what you've done in an intense London derby.
Yeah, no, mate, absolutely. It's incredible what we've done in the you know. Even like when we had Nottingham Forest last week, they ain't lost an away game all season, and we absolutely battered them. They did nothing all game. And then obviously going to Sporting, they ain't lost in 18 months at home, and we turn up and it's like we were playing, I don't know, someone like Plymouth.
It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable, Chris. You're absolutely right to flag that Nottingham Forest result as well, because that is, therefore, 13 goals scored for Arsenal in the past 7 days. They really are on fine form. Dave, an Arsenal fan, call talkSPORT. How are you, sir?
Hello, good evening. You're speaking to?
How are you, Dave?
I'm very well. Yourself, Rory?
I'm very well. You've got to be over the moon with what you've just witnessed.
Well, sort of. The only thing I say about Arsenal is the game is never won, even if it's 3-0, 4-0. They just have that little bit of inconsistency. As soon as they concede a goal like they did today, they just seem a different team. They're totally cruising, and suddenly one goal goes in and 2 goals go in. They're all over the place. But my question that I rang up about was regarding this Jorginho when he's running in front of the goalkeeper or standing in front of the goalkeeper before the free kick's been taken. How is the referee getting involved in that? What's the difference between having 6 or 7 people standing at the edge of the 6-yard box when a free kick's going to be taken? All that's going to happen is they'll be offside if a goal's scored.
No, I agree. I mean, I don't think the referee had a good game. I think he made basically a pig's ear of every decision. Some of them went your way, some of them didn't. But yeah, I didn't understand why he made such a meal out of that issue. But overall, Arsenal were what? Second in the league, the serious challenger to Liverpool, the most likely side that could catch Liverpool. You've got to be over the moon.
I'm over the moon, but we don't count out Man City. They've had a bad run. They've had 5 games or whatever in total, 3 in the Premier League. They can change it. They can quite easily go on. If there's any team that's going to win 15 games in a row, even at this moment, certainly ain't going to be Arsenal from a gooner. I don't think Liverpool will carry on the way they are. They're going to have a bad... City can turn the corner. They've got the players. It happens. You know, it happens to any team. Any team. They've, 6 or 7 years in a row? They've been absolutely phenomenal. You can have a blip. They normally have a blip around this time before Christmas, and then they go on their phenomenal run. So it's 5 points, 6 points? Even Arsenal, 9 points behind. Arsenal were 8 points ahead a couple of seasons ago, and they lost it. Liverpool were about 12 points ahead 3 or 4 seasons ago, and they lost it to Man City. So City aren't out of it. Arsenal are in it. I still don't think they've got the quality and the players to win it.
They don't have the quality of the players to win it. That's from Dave. Yeah. Oliver, did you hear that? Dave seems to think that Arsenal don't have the quality of the players to win it. Does that chime with your thoughts?
No, absolutely not. No, I think we're just one position away from clinching a title. I think we've got a really strong core to the team with Rice, Odegaard, and Saliba at the back, partnered by Gabriel. I just think. What
are you missing? A sense forward? Is that the Achilles heel?
Yeah. I just really think, Kai Havertz is doing a job for us. But if we had a sort of Thierry Henry-esque, someone who could get you that 30 goals a season, I think, the title's ours. And I think we're solid for years to come with the age of the group.
Yeah, I think you're looking good. I think you're playing really well. I think that you've had some symbolic results just this week. Can you do it? Can you actually catch Liverpool, do you think?
Yeah, I really do. I think they've made some signings, with that Chiesa. I think he's a decent player, but I think, they've got some struggles now. Their squad's getting a bit older, and I think ours is getting younger. I think we've got that enthusiasm. I think we're just literally just that striker away from getting there. I really think we are.
No, I don't disagree with you, but there's one reason why those people who believe that Arsenal don't necessarily need to sign a goal scorer, what they will say is they will say that Arsenal have no trouble scoring goals. You scored 5 goals today. That's the second time you scored 5 goals this week. That's the second time that you've scored 5 goals away from home. 5 goals, 5 different goal scorers. You have enough goals in the team to win the league, don't you?
Yeah, I think we've got the goals, but I think it's those games where it's 0-0 or it's 1-0 or it's, really, really tight, or, we're losing 1-0 and it's the 70th minute and you need that striker to come on, or that striker just to get the game by the scruff of the neck and just really go and bag you 2 out of nowhere, and you're like, wow, And I think about that when Jesus first came to us. I've been a season ticket holder now for a couple of years, and the ground was electric. It was exciting when he picked the ball up, and I think that's what we just really miss. Like, Kai Havertz doesn't get you out of your seat. He doesn't excite you. And, Jesus, when he first came, was proper exciting. Everyone was a bit like, oh, wow, look at him. And he was darting around. He was putting it all in. He's not a finisher. But if we had a finisher with his energy, like Odegaard, the way he puts himself around the pitch is why he's different to Ozil. Ozil was just, lazy. He was a luxury player, whereas Odegaard works for the team. And I just think with the core we've got, we could proper be a even Champions League winning team with a striker.
Champions League, really? Do you see that? In terms of winning the Premier League, I think that we can have a genuine conversation about Arsenal doing it. I believe that there is a world in which you can do it. You've been knocking on the door for such a long time. You're miles away from the top European level, aren't you?
But I don't know. Look around the things. You're looking at it. PSG faded away. Bayern Munich and nothing. We've done PSG when they came to our gaff.
Yeah, you say Bayern Munich and nothing. They launched you out the Champions League last year, didn't they?
Yeah, I know, but again, it was tight. If Ben White had scored that opportunity when he was through 1-on-1, we'd won that game. I was at that game. We could have easily absolutely mustered them. But I just think we just still that slight little bit of inexperience. But I'm telling you now, if you put a world-class striker in our team, I don't see another team in Europe. I know Man City are going through some struggles at the moment. Liverpool are great. If you look at Barcelona, they buy players and sell players ad hoc here and there and stuff like that. It's weird what they do with their financial system. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. Lewandowski's like 36 or whatever he is. He's going to be gone. I can't see much else in Europe.
That's
I
fair,
really can't.
fair enough. Do you know what, Oliver? You make a good case there. And when you see Arsenal playing the way that they are, going away to Sporting Lisbon and destroying them the way that they did, bearing in mind that Sporting Lisbon are one of the best sides in Europe at the moment, I think that you might be onto something. So, Oliver, I do massively appreciate your call. Thank you so much. We're actually going to change direction a little touch here and speak to Gurinder, the Leicester fan. Gurinder, what on earth is going on? You wanted Steve Cooper out, didn't you?
Yeah, I still, it's early days. It's like, but you know what? I did expect some kind of new manager bounce, but I'm not even angry today. I just feel...
Maybe you got one. Maybe you were due to lose 8-1 and the new manager bounce kept it respectful.
No, we'll get it. But I'm sure Ruud van Nistelrooy is sitting there. He's probably crying now, thinking, what the hell have I just signed myself up for here? We are the worst team. Worst performing team. And do you know what? Look at Southampton yesterday. I'm glad for us, but they're putting a fight. Ipswich are putting a fight.
Mm-hmm. Gurinder, did you want Steve Cooper sacked? You did, didn't you?
Oh God, I didn't even want him appointed in the first place. He would have got Forest in League One. Look at Forest today. Forest are going to get into Europe with a great manager.
Yeah.
I was on the Majestic one, and then they put this Forest man calling Leicester disgrace, or he'd have them back. Not have him.
And what about when Ruud van Nistelrooy? What about the Ruud van Nistelrooy appointment? Were you totally supportive of that?
Oh yeah, you know what? I called the talk the sports bar, and Jamie Horror was like, "Oh, Ruud van Nistelrooy's never going to come to Leicester. He's come to Leicester, and I'm happy." I think we do. Unfortunately, right, it's so sad that there's no great English coach. And I just think he's like a legend. He's a superstar. He's going to lift the morale. You know, you're sitting you're in that changing room. You've got Ruud van Nistelrooy. I mean, that's just.
This feels very what Aston Villa fans would have once said about Steven Gerrard.
He's not a Steven Gerrard. Like, come on, you can't compare. There's no way. Look how well in that short time he did with United. He lifted their spirits. He's like, this is the person we need. Our defence, he's got to get rid. I mean, Vestergaard, Faye, all of them, all of the defence.
So you're going to stay up, Gurinder? Is he going to be the man to keep you up?
I believe so. As sad as it is, if Ipswich, Southampton, Wolves keep losing, we've got a slight survival. I look at their results first, but sadly, right, they put up a fight, don't they? But I think he's going to lift us. I think. Right, Tuesday is like an epic game, isn't it? It's Leicester v West Ham. I can't even laugh. You know what I want to laugh.
6-pointer, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be tough for us.
No, very tough. It'll be a very tough game, Gurinder. But look, I do certainly wish you well. We're going to now dive back into the Arsenal game. We're going to speak to Cordell, the Arsenal fan. How are you, Cordell? You're on talkSPORT.
Thank you, Rory. Yeah. Well, Arsenal's been...
Oh, Cordell, I don't think we've got the greatest of lines, so we're going to come back to you. But for now, we're going to speak to Barney, the Arsenal fan. How are you, Barney? You are on talkSPORT.
Hi, mate. How's your day? Fantastic result today. Well, I'm really happy about our team today.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't have gone better for you, really, could it?
Yeah. Martin Odegaard, people are now getting him. A lot of people underestimated him. He's our best player, to be honest. I've been saying this for a long time. He's the next Kevin De Bruyne. In fact, Kevin De Bruyne is the only player who's better than him in that position. He's that good. He's our best player. Sometimes people say Saka is our best player, Rice. But I think Odegaard, with our team, Arsenal, we're nothing, to be honest. No,
I don't disagree with you, Barney, but is that a little bit of a problem, that you're so reliant on one player? The second that he's out the team, there isn't anybody really who plays the game in the same way as him to come in. And therefore, if Martin Odegaard's out, that's the end of your Premier League aspirations.
Exactly. But you could say the same about most teams. Like, have a look at City. Without Kevin De Bruyne, they're not the same team. The only difference between Arsenal and City is we don't have Haaland. For the last 2 years, he has been the only difference. In fact, Man City without Haaland is not as good as Arsenal. I would say that, to be honest. If you take Haaland out of Man City for the last 2 years, I don't think they would win the team, the league for the last 2 years.
So now you've witnessed your team, Arsenal, win today in the way that they have. You know, a huge win, a historic win, in fact. To go away to a London rival and do what you did to them today, that is massive. Tomorrow, it's very important that Arsenal win when their rivals are about to play. Their rivals are about to play. Liverpool take on Manchester City. What are you hoping for in that fixture?
To be honest, I hope if they are not drawing, I hope City lose tomorrow because we are still afraid of them. To be honest, I don't think if there is one team in the league that can win 15 games non-stop, it's Manchester City.
Barney, I think you've got that wrong, mate. You can't want you can't want Liverpool to win the game.
No, I mean, if you look at their game, they have been scrapping it. To be honest, Liverpool have been scrapping it. I don't think they should be where they are now. For the last 2 years, we've been challenging City, and we are traumatized by them. To be honest, and I'm still afraid of them than Liverpool.
Yeah, I think that's what's happened here. I think you've been sort of conditioned into believing that Manchester City are your rival, even when they're not. But trust me, I haven't got a dog in this fight. Sadly, I don't have a dog in this fight, Barney. I'm a Chelsea fan. I promise you that you need, if you are an Arsenal fan, you need Liverpool to win the game. Manchester City to win the game. You cannot have Liverpool pulling any further away. You cannot be 9 points behind Liverpool at this stage of the season.
How many times have Liverpool have won?
No, but
they've been lucky.
But you've been conditioned to believe that Manchester City are the Manchester City that they've been over the past half a decade. They're not. They're not that team this year. They're a very beatable team. They're a very vulnerable team. And they aren't the team that you think they are, that you're conditioned to believe they are. If Liverpool beat Man City tomorrow, you cannot catch them. It will become an insurmountable amount of points.
Yeah, but if you see their game, Liverpool, I don't think they've been dominating like proper. I haven't seen them scoring so many goals, completely dominating. They've been scrapping. They've been drawing 1-0. How many times have they won 1-0?
Liverpool,
2-3 times.
They've scored 2 goals less than Arsenal in a game less, and you've just scored 6. They've scored more goals than you if you don't include the game today, and they've got a game in hand on you. Yeah,
they're doing better than us, but City is more. If City get everything their act together with the same players they have, they can pose a threat.
This is the Pep Guardiola effect, Barney. I appreciate your call. Thank you very much. But this is the Pep Guardiola effect. Everybody's terrified of them just because they are conditioned to believe that they are the threat. I guarantee you this. If you're an Arsenal fan, the dream for you this weekend is that you batter West Ham in the way that you have. And then what you need Manchester City to beat Liverpool, to demonstrate that Liverpool are beatable, to show the world that Liverpool are still there for the taking, and to somehow make it a 3-horse race yet again.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.